This is Fancy Girl. We're from Growth OD. She coaches humans. We look at how Fancy Girl characterizes herself to those humans. Now here she's got a really nice, see all the nice stones there? She doesn't like to be touched in the face, and that tells us something. That tells us something. Horses don't like it in general, but she's particularly concerned about that. She does like cookies. I'll show you. So if we observe the client and the horse together, we learn a lot, and we can start to externalize, step 2, something about her and something about the client and their relationship to each other. So we give it a name, like shy about the nose. She's very shy about the nose, right? Unless she thinks there's a cookie there. So we'll call her Shy Girl instead of Fancy Girl for a while. And then the client could be somebody who's maybe a little bit too energetic, so we'll say energetic. So energetic around this horse would not be a good idea. Fancy Girl doesn't like a lot of hand movements and a lot of quick motions. She likes slow and easy. Then we look at sympathizing with her hesitancy, her, shyness. So what does that buy her? Well, maybe other people are more careful around her. Maybe she's more selective, that sort of thing. And the client, frantic, maybe that gets attention, but maybe not always in a great way. So we revise what are the consequences of shyness and a frantic client, right? We say, oh, there's some downsides to that. It kind of gets people nervous, all that energy of a client. It can be exciting for a while, but maybe the rhythm is hard to adapt to. And Shy Girl, well, she's also the boss mare. The boss mare. So she's the dominant female in a good way in her herd. She was in, but now she's in a new herd. She has to adapt and transition. And that can happen to people too. So we go on to strategize, the 5th step in Purview coaching. And it's all at growthod.org. So when we look at the client, we want them to identify moments when they weren't frantic. That wasn't their problem-saturated account of themselves. Or for a little while, they were calmer. And for Shy Girl, we want to look at times when she was the boss mare and have her recall that. You were the boss mare. You were the head of the whole herd of other mares where you came from. Now you got a really dominant mare there, and she doesn't give you any quarter. You staying aloof from her, staying on the other side of the turnout area. But eventually you'll make friends, right? So we'll talk about these little while moment stories of exception. We need at least 5 of them. And then we'll move on to rehistoricizing. So Fancy Girl, you are the boss mare. You've been a boss mare before. You've been a good leader, and you'll fit in. You might find your order in the pecking order, your position might not be the most dominant mare, but you will take care of yourself as you're doing now. And then we do that with the client, have them retell their history without getting into the rabbit hole of their twitchiness, whatever you're going to call it, whatever they call it. And they'll call it something differently through the process of coaching. And now we've got to do the final step of restorying. We're creating a new story, a restory, and it's a different identity of the future. So this future-oriented. So in step 6, we looked at the histories, and in step 5, now we're looking at, hey, what future do you want? I can tell right now she wants a future where there's a cookie involved, right? So let's say, there you go. And so the new story is, this is my new horse, and we're getting to know each other. She's getting to trust me. That's happening. And in our relationship, and we want that in the client relationship with the horse. And we form a support group. The horse is part of the support group, and they learn to support each other. And then there's me, I support them, and they find other people in their life, relatives, co-workers, etc., that can be supportive to them in their new identity, right? Boss mare, right? Or just someone taking care of themselves in the pecking order. So since horses are herd animals, they're very sensitive to, leave the fingers, very sensitive to what's going on around them, much more than humans are. So we learn a lot from horses. So that's the 7 steps of Purview restoring. And you take the old stuck story, that filter for filtering reality, and we develop a new story, we restory our new identity. All right? So we went from shy girl to boss mare. And this is, her real name is Fancy Girl. She's very fancy.